Was fällt euch?
Das Mikrofon.
Ist das? Go.
Fantastic. Hey everyone, nice to see you.
Hello everyone.
So,
Nice to see you guys.
and we
How
are
are
ready
you
to
doing?
stream. Sorry for the delay. I think that was our first time delay. I think we had like 4 minutes delay. Oh, jeez.
We needed some coffee.
Awesome, Abby. Great to hear that you are good.
Yeah.
So, Mahtab, what have we done the last time?
That's a good question, Max. You was the driver,
Ah,
right?
damn. Okay,
Hi,
so
let me run our emulator.
down. So,
Yeah.
okay.
You have it now? No,
In the
not
meantime,
yet.
it runs, so I
There we
can.
go.
I think.
Should run.
Yeah, and I think it will be on the other screen, so you have to press Control Left to jump there.
Yeah.
No? Yeah, fantastic.
Oh,
Oh, that looks different.
and this one also. And let's see what's going here.
Alright, so the last time, what have we done? We managed it to save a category, finally. We made some cleanups,
Yes.
refactoring, right?
We did a lot of refactoring.
That was pretty cool. And what we also did is we improved somehow the theming, I think, if I have that right in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And we talked a lot with Robert about different UI things. That was
we
also
learned
pretty
about
interesting.
Text field
Mhm.
and some good inputs.
Right, the
from him.
unsaved from forms, right?
Instead
that was
of
also
using
important.
controller.
And
Now let's see. This is right. What we are
today we
talking.
have some other challenges because today we want to save a recipe down
Don't
in
promise,
a category.
Don't promise too much, Max.
I have good faith today. We are looking pretty good.
This is every time what we are trying to do, and at the end we are doing.
No, the last time we
something.
had the goal to save our category and it
It's
worked.
right. It's
and
right.
now we want to save a recipe down a category.
Yeah. So what we are doing now, or what we are able to do, is here our save category, and in the category, for example.
Oh, we also added some validations, right, in every
Yeah,
part.
it's
So
right.
that was also very important for us. And the uint8 list stuff, so we can now save the images correctly. But I think that was the stream before that.
Yeah. So we need some chicken images.
Does
At
it work?
least I would like to have, because we decided to have always nice images. Is it the right one?
It's not. Well, it's a chicken.
I think this one is better.
Okay. Good morning, Flutterist. How are you?
Hello, Flutterist. Here we go. Now
All right.
in our
So what are you doing?
download, I try to bring some chicken images here in my simulator. Does it work?
No.
Yeah. No.
Very good. A bit tired. It's still too early in the morning, you know, Sunday stream. And also what we can do today, what I thought is we can save our recipe down a category. That would be amazing. And we could maybe create...
Save recipe in the category.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
And maybe as a second part, we can also think about how to bring the logo inside from Flutterist. That this is now part of our app, because I think that is very important, right?
Yeah. So now we can add the new category, and
actually it looks very nice.
It's really good.
I'm very happy with it.
And I think we don't have any delay more for the images. I don't know why, but
I think
somehow.
yeah, you're right.
Because
Interesting.
last time we spoke about if we can cache them.
True.
Is this right?
Yeah. I think we had some issues with performance there.
Yeah.
On the other hand, the emulator is today very slow. Maybe that is the reason.
So.
Anyway.
And now.
Broken. Fantastic.
It's broken.
So let's start with fixing this problem.
What's going on here?
Also, big thanks for the website stream, because on that part there have been a lot of work around. I think Robert wrote a lot of comments inside of my PR. What we can improve.
Really?
Yeah, and
from your stream project.
From my stream project, from the
okay.
website. Yeah, so we get also there a lot of feedback. And Minu created an issue for it and fixed the problem inside of the issue. So.
Hey
it's
guys,
getting better and better.
Great. Such an amazing community.
I think, sorry, I have to steal your mouse secondly, because I think we have this bit too active, so it's a bit better now.
Let's see.
So dirty is not true.
Dirty is not true.
Because most likely we got some upgrade from Flutter.
Okay.
We are now on version 120.
Okay,
so it
and
could
the channel,
be, I think we are on stable.
Yeah?
I changed that to stable, yeah. But it could be that we are working on it. Can you make also Flutter Doctor just to check that everything is downloaded?
It's good when you write it in the right way.
Fantastic. Hey RKS, nice to see you.
Hello.
So there everything is working. So you see we are on the latest version, 120 now.
Ooh.
Upgraded.
Yeah.
And I think that problem could be that we have some breaking changes in the 120 that we have now to fix.
Okay.
So there is a failed assertion somewhere in widgets framework. Okay, this has nothing to do with us, but it is with the change notifier provider. Add recipe provider has a problem. Can you jump into the add recipe provider for a second?
For sure. Where is here? Add recipe provider.
Do we have any issues here? No. Looks pretty good.
Don't have actually F2.
No, there's no red sign or anything. So can we read once more the error message?
Yes, for sure. It's here. The final assertion was thrown by the change notifier provider.
Can you jump here in that area with that? Yep, with that dashboard. So this one is crashing at the moment.
This is from our dashboard screen. In the dashboard screen, use.
Can you hot restart once more? So if you just and if you switch now over once more and click on the recipe part. Maybe you click twice or something so that the navigation popped twice, or no? It's not true. Oh, that looks weird.
Session live. The error message doesn't help so much,
No, but can we search for it? Maybe it has something to do with the provider package. Maybe there was an update also in the provider package. Did you copy the error message?
No.
So just that failed assertion, blah blah blah.
Maybe like that.
So this happens if you just upgrade your Flutter version without checking anything. So you get some issues there. So yeah, this one I think 3 days ago sounds very reproducible.
Okay, like that.
Lib main dart, okay. Card stack state. The element being rebuilt at the time was index 0 of 2 card stacks 30. Can we check by us if we find also this error message somewhere? So if you scroll a bit down. Change notifier, okay, so as exception. Go lower, lower, go lower.
Element rebuild.
So it tries to rebuild it all the time. The question is why, so.
Okay.
That's weird.
This is weird.
Can you jump into the add recipe provider for once?
Yeah.
So do we hear something that could re-trigger anything? So if you scroll down, do we have anywhere a notify listener?
Here
and
the
there.
set image, but I just click on add recipe and do
yeah, the
nothing,
question is
actually.
if you are going to add recipe and it tries to rebuild inside of the build function, then it crashes maybe.
Okay.
At least this is something what I could imagine now, but why do we get such a weird error? That looks so weird.
So here when I just stay here, nothing will happen, right?
Yeah.
Everything is fine. And also with add category it works everything fine.
Yeah.
Add a recipe. Okay, and first time it doesn't work at all. No.
Okay, as I said, can you go to the dashboard screen and scroll inside of the add recipe provider? No, wait, add recipe screen, I'm sorry.
The add recipe screen.
There is the child. And inside of here we have the form key, and do we set somewhere something? So in the init state, set selected categories. So if you jump in set selected categories, down here,
selected category.
Can you go one back and comment this line out?
Yeah.
And try it again. Aha, here we go.
Oh.
What is that? Depends is empty is not true. Okay, this is another error, so let's head back. Where comes this now from? Depends is empty.
It's not true.
Okay, scroll further up. Does anyone have
anyone there?
items?
Yeah. Are you guys with us? Can you see all errors that we are
Error
getting?
causing widget was material app.
Material app main.
Ooh, that sounds bad. So where does this come from? And if you jump there in?
Yeah.
Device preview.
Did we have any updates in the new release regarding material app?
No, but what I could imagine is that all the packages that we are using are maybe not in the, or don't have already the version 1.2 in mind. So it could be that our packages are breaking at the moment because we are too new for them.
Okay.
So for example, provider, it could be that provider is not updated already with the newest stuff from 120 and is not fixed with that. And same for the device preview.
You updated already our Flutter, right? Should we also update all packages that we have?
We can try that. Yep. So jump to the package.json.
On the
YAML, YAML. And hit pub update outdated.
Pub outdated.
So we can see if there is a new version.
Yeah. Did you have guys also a problem with the new updates and new release?
So as you can see, for example, provider got a new version that we can try to upgrade at least to 4.3.2.
Yeah.
So we can try that with this.
Upgrade? No idea.
That's sad. We hope you solve the problem for us. I hit it once more if I see something. Everything is up to date. Build runner is also nothing new. Analyzer is nothing major. No.
No, nothing.
A very weird issue. So if you jump back now into the code, into the emulator, and just hit once more the add recipe.
This is a cool image.
No, this is working, but if you go back, it's breaking. No, it's also working.
It's also working. Okay.
Okay, maybe it was just a hiccup. So it seems that the problem is that we try to access the add recipe provider before the state has rebuilt, and we set the selected category where we notify our listeners before we init the state. So we init the state and set then the categories here. So this seems to make problems. What we could try is...
Should we also try once here again?
Yeah, just add that, but go. I'm pretty sure that this is the issue here.
Yeah. Nice.
So if you hit back over and you try it once more, oops, that was the wrong one.
Yeah.
Yep. Then it's crashing again.
So
okay.
True.
So, and if we know that, can you jump into the set selected category here and comment out the notify listeners below?
Don't need at the moment. This one?
Yep. Well, we will need it, but not yet.
We'll need it later, yeah.
So if you heard over, it's working again.
It's working again.
Yeah, you have to restart now because you were already with the problem inside and then it crashed, and so it crashed silently more or less.
So we are here in our provider.
Yes,
and
indeed.
In the provider set selected category.
The init state is getting executed before we get into the build method, right? And if we hit notify listeners, we would try to rebuild this widget. So
even if it's not there.
So exactly, it tries to re-trigger that build. And because we try to re-trigger it before it has the initial build function run, it will crash.
Yeah.
And this was a problem here. And so we will most likely have two parameters here. But if you jump back over and can look into the recipe, so if we want to add a recipe here, and did you see that?
That was the chicken category. I just added before for the
recipe name. Okay. But if you check the recipe, the categories here, if you click into the categories, and select noodles, for example. Okay, this is working, so fair enough.
This is actually working. Asia.
So we don't even need the notify listeners there. Fantastic.
But does it just work because we had it before, or do you think we don't need it at all?
I think we don't need that notify listener. I think the update of the UI happens now inside of the drop-down list that we have. And that is the connection that happens there. So if we select something, the drop-down list gets a set state called, and then after that it works.
Okay.
Cool,
because
fair enough.
What I'm thinking is, because I create the chicken category before, and after that restart the app and everything.
That the value state
and
there.
And the value state there.
Could be, but it is a bit weird that the recipe name actually get this word.
So let's say...
Good luck with your Overwatch round.
Yes. Hey Robert. So this is just a test. I'll do it again with the rice. Okay, and now go like here. No, Max, you're right.
Why? I didn't say anything. The problem was that recipe name. Can you click on the recipe name? Ah, okay. So it stays empty. Fine. Okay, fair.
Because I thought maybe because of the hot reload, we got it after hot reload. The recipe, the category name here in the.
All right. But no, it looks well.
That's,
so we can go over and remove that notify listener here completely.
Okay.
And we can also make it a fat arrow in that area.
Yeah. So what we want to do is like that, and remove this one. And
cool.
Here we go. And you know what?
No.
I want to commit it directly.
Good idea.
Refactoring.
Hey Nika, hey Ayush, it's getting full here. We had some problems with our Dart Flutter release right now, so we had to fix there some problems. Or it was not really the Flutter release, sorry, it was our problem. Picnic, right? Problem in chair, not in computer.
Okay.
Okay, so you committed it?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
I want just to push it.
And none of your keyboards is right. Command Shift and then K. Fantastic.
Okay.
The issue was that we made a notify listeners inside of that set selected category. And the problem is with notify listeners, we tried to rebuild the widget tree while the widget tree was never built. And what happens then is like it is dirty, that flag that you saw in the error message was true. And with this is dirty is true, the widget tree was already dirty or called as dirty. So before it has ever built, it was already dirty, and the foundation of Flutter does not like that. And with that, we had to remove the notify listener here because we call this method once in the init state.
Great. Okay. So now we made it. The next step is, Max, what do you think if we finally save our recipes?
All right, let's go. Shouldn't be too hard, I hope. The last time we improved so heavily the category models, or the models in general. So let's see how we can solve that now.
Okay. We have at the moment, we have a recipe model, which contains an ID, a name, and image. And now we have add recipe provider, right?
Yeah.
Okay, but before going so far, let's go to the add recipe screen. Where is it? Here we go. Here. So make this one. Here. Okay. Add recipe screen. And here I'm looking for the submit button. Which should be somewhere here.
Yeah, I think Riverpod will change a lot. Let's see for that. And I'm also looking forward to work finally with MobX because I like that single store solution. Because then I know where my data are all located. But I think there are a lot of discussions about state management as always. A lot of people are starting now with getX. I'm really looking into that now. I'm creating a script for a video for that.
Okay, so
but yeah, okay. So
as a cheat sheet for me, I know that we did the same thing also in add category screen. So what we did in the category screen was, I think the last time we changed it that get from here the app provider. We will pass, here we go. This is the save successful. If it's a successful, we will save our category, and here from the UI we will pass the app provider and the category name.
Yes, okay.
Right? So I think we should go some in the same way.
Okay, but we don't use this time a controller, right? And also the app provider, I don't know even if the app provider will really take care of saving the category in our case in this time.
Saving the recipe, you mean?
Yeah, because at the moment I think we don't even need the app provider. But let's see. Let's first go to the parts.
So what we have here is, here we have a validate, validate the form, and if this is true, we will save our recipe. Okay. So let's jump here and see what's going on here. It's going nothing. So what we want to do is to save the recipe name, the image, and the selected category. Okay, so we have already all the information, right? So that's pretty cool. Maybe what I should do at first is to create a recipe model. I mean, yeah, because we have currently just the different parts, right? Like an image, we have the recipe name. It would be great to have the recipe model here. Can you write that underneath of the to-dos so that we have the to-dos on top so we can solve them one by one? Yep. It's better. So we need a recipe, and this is this recipe model. Yep. And what do we need here is, for now, nothing. I think we need here one constructor. So let's create the constructor here. And what we need is, I like to start with the name. After that we need an image, and last but not least is the ID. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So now let's go back here and pass the name. The name we have here. So it's gonna be the recipe name. The next one is the image. But not the image as file, which we have it here. We need here the uint8 list. And the last one is the ID. But this is now not mandatory, right? It is, because you made it mandatory, right, in the constructor. Yeah, you are right. So how I get the uint8, I would say we had the same also in the category model. That's true. So let's see how we create the uint8. Where is it? And what are you searching?
You to create the uint.
You will not find it in the recipe model or in the category model. You will find it in the add category provider, because there we
right.
just there in the provider or controller in that case. Yep.
Category here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
And here we create our uint8 list, which is the memory information from the list.
Yeah. So, which means this is this one.
Mm-hmm.
So I will just copy this one.
Okay.
Like that. And now let's, not this one, this one. We import the type data.
All right.
And this is our image here, which we have here. And I'm going here for the image array by.
Byte array. Fantastic.
Perfect. And the last one gonna be, what was that? The ID, right?
Yes.
And
but we said that we maybe don't need the ID, right, for the next time. So maybe we can just make it optional.
Yeah. So can I go something like that, right? No, not like that. Like that. No.
The wrong key. Yeah.
Phew. So you go like this one and here.
Yeah, exactly. So the recipe model is now needs a name and it needs an image, or else we can't create it.
Yeah.
But we don't really need an ID because we want to use that new Hive object, I think was the name, right? That we can save the stuff right away without saving it somewhere else.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. And let's have a look here again. Okay, the save category. We had here the add category. No, not like that. We create here category, image byte, and after that, so we can save it.
Yeah, exactly. So, and with that new Hive object, how can we save it the easiest?
I think what we can do is here to go for the recipe. And if I'm not wrong, we have now directly to save.
But right? Where will it save now? Okay, I have no idea. That looks interesting. Can you jump into the save method here? I don't know how it works.
I'm also a little bit confused.
Persists this object. Okay. Box put. But which box?
I think the initial box which we create for the Hive, right? Or not?
Okay, so we have just one box for the whole app. So if you jump into repo. And here we have the repo. No, that doesn't look right. Or can you jump in?
In here.
Ah, here we have that box.
Yeah, we have
Hive
that.
open box. Okay, but this is for the category repo, right? And here we know exactly which box it is. But how does it work with the other one?
Does it mean we need a new box just for recipes? But the thing is, Max, we said we will add recipes to our categories, right?
Correct. But still, we don't know how to save that without, or I don't know how it works with that Hive, so we have to check the documentation from Hive. But on the other hand, we can try something, but I'm not sure if this will work. So if you go to the add recipe provider, and here we make, instead of saving the recipe itself, we go to the selected category, which is our category that we have selected at the moment. Yeah. And there we call the Hive list that is on top of it, because we read already the selected categories from the database.
Yeah.
And that selected categories has a function, an information called recipes, which is a list of recipes. So and if we add here the recipe itself with .add,
yeah,
we can add the recipe model, which is in our case recipe.
Yeah, which we created.
And now what we can try in the next line is selected category .save. And because the selected category comes from the HiveDB, I think it knows which box it is. But I don't know how it works with a single recipe. So for that, we would have to check the documentation.
Okay.
And Abby, I think Ayush meant, what is the reason why you don't want to use provider, or why do you don't like provider? Okay.
Okay.
So, and what I want to do now is I want to get the information from selected categories. So can you ask, I don't know, in the save recipe where you call it, can we get access to the, wait.
Okay. Now?
I just want to know how, so we have to test somehow, has it worked, right? So we need to know, did it really save the things?
Can we maybe just print it here?
Yeah, but for that we need somehow access to the categories, right?
Yeah.
Because you need now to read from the database and check if the entry is inside, right?
Yeah. Yeah, okay, I see. After we edit, we should get, for example, here, right?
Yeah. Just that we show a text or something, yeah.
Okay. So what is this one? This is the category screen.
Could be,
right?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
No, this is not the category, wait.
Why not?
What is this? Perfect.
What are you doing?
Okay, right. Nothing.
Okay, just jump into
the
we have also
screen and the category here.
So and that looks exactly like what we want, right? That is the category name that we receive.
Yeah.
It would be a bit better if we don't get the category name here. We want to get the category itself, right? That would be maybe more useful.
Yeah.
So can we check where we use that category screen, where we call it?
Category screen, category
expanded
list, main screen. Responsive widget.
Where is this now?
The main category. Is it our nice transition here? What we built?
No, I don't think that this is the transition. I don't know even where we used that.
So
interesting. It's too long ago. That looks
category.
good.
This is better.
There's the page builder with the page routing where we have that animation, then transition builder. Yeah.
And when we untap, after tap, we are going to the.
And at the moment, we push just the category name, and it would be better if we push the category itself.
Yeah.
So we would also call that parameter here category. No. No.
Right. Okay.
So we remove the .name because we want to send the whole category.
Yeah.
So remove .name. And then we have here a parameter called category name, which is now a category. So we remove there the name.
Yeah.
And now you jump into the category screen.
Here we go.
And now you fix everywhere the name because we don't get a name, we get a category, right?
Yeah.
Hey Mirko, nice to see you.
If I can do like that.
Shift F6 is it?
Yeah.
Just Shift F6? Yep.
Here we go. Need just a category.
Exactly. And down here in the text, we still have to send the category .name. You have to specify which type because it is not a string anymore. It is category model, right?
Yeah. It's this one. And now we have the name.
Yeah. And also the tag has to be the name, else we don't have our hero animation anymore.
Yeah.
And now what we want to have here inside is somehow the possibility to see the list of different recipes.
Okay. So we can show maybe the category name, but should I wrap it in the column and after that show also the list?
Well, something like that, yes.
Yeah.
But why in the hero animation?
Okay, I will wrap this one. Here we have container, and here we can also have text. And
the material was just because when the hero animation happened, in between of the animation, it started to get red inside and underlined. I don't know if you have ever seen that. That is the reason if there is no material widget surrounding it. It looked a bit weird, so we started with just making the material around it, but I think there is a better option. How can I wrap a list view builder inside list view without getting errors? I don't know if this is even possible. So you want to have a list view in a list view. The problem is with the list view that it has an infinity height. So you could use an expanded or something surrounding it, or you give that a box constraint or a shrink wrap. Yeah. All right. So Robert is right.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So what
I did here is to show the category recipes.
Which
text.
Are multiple objects, right? So you don't get any informations here. So you need a name or something, or you have to get the first one and then... No, the first one.
For example, like that.
Yeah.
And now I have another problem. With the argument type string can be assigned to the parameter type category model.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. In the category we have here this one.
No physics on scroll. Ah, interesting.
I'll just pass now.
That will not work, I think, but okay. Too few positional arguments, too required. Ah, yeah. So you have not recreated the recipe model after you created the constructor for it.
Oh yeah, okay. I need the build. What is again? If I don't know.
I think it is Flutter pub build runner build, I think.
I always forget. Okay, build runner dot.
Will there be always a recipe in category? I think not, no. I think it could be that there is an empty category list inside. But at the moment it is just a test, so we just want to see if the save works correctly. But thank you for pointing that out, Milko. We will take a look into it in a second. Now you will get an error most likely, which says something you have to override or delete the existing ones.
Ah yeah, okay. So mit hyphen.
Yeah, something. hyphen something.
We will get the message from the console, I hope. Okay. So if everything works well, now we can add the recipe.
When everything is working, yeah.
Yeah, but I think, yeah. And add the recipe screen.
The reverse search, okay. Have to take a look into it.
Okay.
So building new assets, generating everything. So it takes a little longer this time because we updated the Dart SDK in the meantime.
But in the meantime, what I wanted to say is here in the add recipe screen, we should get a boolean, which I think at the moment is not the case.
Yeah, I think we just return false at the moment. But this is no problem, right? Because we anyway want to just check if we can save something with that command here. Because if you check the save part, save is currently command Q. Oh no, sorry.
Q?
Command B is...
P? No, J. Here.
No. Okay.
Here. So the save is also a future void, which means I need here also a wait. And at the moment I return just false.
Yeah,
and
but
keep
it for that. Exactly. We want to first check if we can save that, and after that we just take a look into it.
Yeah.
So your recipe model seems to be problematic. No? Seems to be good. Sorry, didn't say anything.
It was red, it's just disappeared.
Okay, so let's have a look how if the recipe is saved now. I'm really curious. It's dirty again? What is that now again?
What's going on here?
No, I think you are.
Yeah.
So we triggered it again with dirty somehow. So we rebuild before we are ready.
Should I restart it?
Yeah, I think a hot restart would be beneficial. Just to take a look.
I'm so happy that we have this option.
So it's done already?
Sorry, too slow.
Okay.
Lowered with chicken.
Hey Navin, thank you. Welcome to this to the Flutter Explained family. Well, it's really early, so we get an error here. Fantastic. So what is the error? Higher. You're 3, 2, 1. Received null. Okay, no such method. The method add was called on null. Interesting.
The method add was called on null. So which is actually
at our add recipe provider. It seems that we receive null. Yeah. So recipes, the list recipes itself seems to be null. The question is now, it is the recipes list that is empty. Okay, that is fair enough.
Thank you for subscribing. So there's something running on the screen. Okay. Recipe is null.
No, recipes is null.
Ah.
You want to access add, which is that function, and it is null on recipes.
Here.
Yes.
Okay, our list is empty.
Exactly. So what we have to do is we have to initialize the list somewhere. So what we can do is we can go one line above.
And just go something like select category, go for the recipes, and say something like that.
But only if it is null, right? We don't want to override it all the time. And you see it is not really a list, it's a Hive list, or called a Hive list. So what we can do is make this question mark, for example. And then we create a new Hive list.
Hive list.
Yeah, and this Hive list needs now our box, which explains a lot.
Okay.
Hey, coding guy, nice to see you.
And what's gonna be our... Yeah. Hey, coding guy.
So what will be our box, Mahtab? What will be our box?
We need a new box.
What is a box?
It's from the Hive. So we need a box where we put all our recipes inside that.
Correct.
So it's gonna be a box, which it doesn't have.
Now you declare a variable inside of a parameter?
Yeah, no, it doesn't make sense.
Right. It's not your day today, or? Slowly, Mahtab. You want to create a new box from Hive.
Yeah.
How do we create a new object in Dart?
Like that.
No, this is a variable now, which... here we go. Fantastic.
Okay.
So now what is box and why is it red? So it is an abstract class. Okay, fantastic. That means we have to initialize something else, right? So how do we get a box? Where did we create it already, such a box for Hive?
Yeah, we create somewhere else.
Yeah, and I think that will be in the repository. So if you take a look down here, no, one level higher, I think. Yeah. Okay. So here we created a box.
Look at that. There's a box with a Hive and category box.
So we said hive.openBox, and then we received a box from that, as you can see.
Yeah, and this is a future box category model.
Because we can't await in a container. So then we said in every part, we wait for the box. We wait for the box. Okay. So, and we need now this line here.
Yeah.
If we want to create this list. I don't know if this is the best part where we could do that, but we do it right now there. So here, instead of doing that here, we should maybe create a second line, right? Make it a line above, create our box.
Create a box.
From which type is that box?
Hive box.
No, that is for sure, but we can specify the generic type here, which is that...
future?
No, it's not a future, because we will wait.
Oops. Sorry, Max, I want
No
to
worries.
just
So can you
here.
take another look into the category repository and check out the box itself? So we get here a future of something, and it is a box with a specific generic type. It is category model.
Yeah.
Can we do the same thing for our part where we are working on?
So,
inside of the add recipe provider.
Here we go. So, this is this one. And what we want to...
Oh, congratulations, coding guy. That sounds amazing.
Freelance project.
It's always good to hear that someone finished it with freelancing.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And what did you create? Let us know if you have permission.
So Mahtab, once more, we don't receive a future. We receive only a box. So, and is that box from type category model?
No, it's from recipe model, Max.
Good, fantastic.
Okay, not like that. Like that.
Okay, and now we have to call what to create a list, a box?
I will tell you the Hive box.
And with that, we open the box in Hive. And now this string should be
a recipe box.
Okay, fantastic.
Like that. And I think I should import some stuff. Change box to future box. Type annotation.
Okay, so if someone asks you to change it to a future and we don't want to have a future, how can we resolve that?
We ignore it.
No?
No.
How long did you not program? The whole week? Look at that. All right.
I messed up.
Just write Hive with a big letter.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so we create now a box by calling this open box function, which returns us a box of recipe model inside of a variable box. And the Hive list needs now this box in order to can save that somewhere, right? And now we have to make sure that this only happens if the recipes are empty, right?
Yeah, otherwise we have just to add it.
Fantastic. So that means we have to say selected category recipes equals to itself or to that new box, depending on. No. Or do what? Yeah. Sorry, it was my mistake. I would do it differently, so that was the reason.
Yeah? How do you want to do that, Max?
No worries.
Wait,
I would just copy it, so that's why.
Okay.
Okay, fantastic.
So, this is gonna be the same, otherwise it's gonna be the new box.
Fantastic, exactly. And now we should be fine, right?
I don't know, let's see. It's kind of an e-commerce app where you can buy car services like daily car wash, sanitization, buy car, sell car. Oh,
cool, pretty cool.
Cool.
So how does it work? You buy that stuff and then you drive somewhere and they will do it for you, or? Yeah, there is a bug. Yeah, there is a bug. I don't know which one, but we have to fix that in the future. Okay, so we select something. Now we press the holy submit button and look for errors. And here we go.
I love errors. So go up. Unhandled exception. Hive objects need to be in the box recipe box.
Okay, so where comes this error from? In the provider add recipe to line 26. So it seems that this add here seems to write an error or something. Interesting.
What's valid to the end?
Oh, cool.
Okay.
It needs to be in the box recipe box. You see that naming here? Can you compare it with our naming?
No, it's Frank.
Cool.
But where did we use this one?
I don't know. We have to check. But at least we get this error message. So I would assume that this is the problem at the moment.
But it looks so weird.
Still not? I
can't imagine that could be the solution, but okay.
But the question is, why do we get this message here then? And why does it look differently? So he tries to save it, which is fantastic, but it seems to have a different problem. Can you close it completely down, start it up again, try it again, just to make sure that everything is fine? Because I assume pretty much that this is the problem. Recipes is not in the box, I think. Yeah, as I said, I think the box is here. The naming of the box was wrong. At least this is what I assume.
I don't know how does it know that we have a recipe box like that? Where did we create something like that?
I assume that it takes somewhere the information from itself. So it could be a reflection thing, that it takes a look into the classes, look at the name, and then take out of the name somewhere the naming of the box.
Okay.
It's just an assumption. I don't know exactly where it comes from. Therefore, I would have to read a bit more of the documentation of Hive.
Oh, I think it's this big gingerbread.
You get hungry, yeah? It was quite a challenge to add payment gateway and use Firebase as the backend, as I was doing it for the very first time. I can imagine. I think Firebase is already a beast, and then starting with payment and rounding it, that would be pretty hard, or can be pretty hard.
Okay.
Okay, we still get the error. Is it still the same? Yeah. So I would suggest that we just search for the error, right? Because I have no idea. We have both never worked with Hive errors, so...
So let's go something like that, and here... Okay, not the recipe box, but I think it's not nice.
Okay, so we don't seem to get an issue here. Can we delete the unhandled exception? Just Razor Pay.
That was too much.
Unnecessary exception. Okay.
Needs to be in the box. Try to add an object from another box. It gives me an exception. This is exactly what's happened to us.
It works as long as you don't close and reopen the box containing the Hive list.
Error was that I put the wrong box in the Hive list box constructor, and when I saw that error, I thought Hive lists can't have members outside of the parent box. Okay.
Fascinating.
So,
Hive error. Hive objects needs to be in the box recipe box. Can you jump into the category repo? So here we use the category box, right? Wait. Can we copy the category box and bring that to the other one?
Do we need the same box?
It could be. I don't know. Just a guess. I'm not sure with that. There was a mistake. You scrolled higher, 1649. The box category is already opened and of type box category model. No, I think that is not the reason.
Let's see if we can find it.
Can you check for the Hive list how we can use that in the Hive docs? So if we go there and check for the boxes. And now we need the Hive relationships, I think. So we have here a list of person, and here it takes Hive lists, right? So what does it do? It takes Hive open box persons with a list.
Yeah.
Mario add all, Mario Luna something, so which all persons?
Just all.
So and this is a Hive list, persons. And persons is what? This is the Hive list with persons with list.
To add a list we need add all?
add all is just a possibility to add different multiple objects into a list, right? So it adds now Luna and Alex to that friends list.
Yeah.
My problem is more where comes the different things from. So Mario is a person, right? And this Mario person has friends, and he says it is a Hive list of persons.
Yeah.
Persons on the other side is a Hive object, a box with persons with list. Hive lists can only be used with objects which are currently in a box. Next, we create a Hive list, which is Mario's friends. The Hive list constructor needs Hive object, which will contain the list. The list must not be moved to another Hive object. The second parameter,
which contains the okay.
Slowly, I have to read that a little bit more because we want to understand what's happening, right? So we have opened the box, which is from type person in that case. So, and how did we open the box? So Hive open box from type category model, right? Or recipe model.
Should we use the same model as the category model? What do we need here? Okay,
no, we can't use it. We have we know that we have a recipe, and the recipe should be now saved inside of a category, right?
Yeah.
So we can't do that, right? So the problem is more how does the objects look like? So we have a person, and the person has a Hive list of friends.
Yeah. In our case, this is a Hive list of recipes.
Yeah, but it seems that this Hive list is from itself. So maybe this is the reason why this is working. But that looks not right. So I think that is wrong. So we should have here our recipe box.
But we didn't create a recipe box. We just opened the box.
Yeah, because we don't have to create a box. We just open them anyways. So if we look into what are boxes, I think that's not it. But we can just open a box or we can close a box.
When should we close the box?
Whenever we don't need it anymore, so we can save some performance.
Oh yeah, okay.
Or we can't save anymore in the meantime, so without opening a box you are not able to close, you can't save, which are useful things. As a to leave a box open for the runtime of the app. If you need a box again in the future, just leave it open.
Okay.
So with that we get an open box, but we don't have an open box, right? We have only a closed one. I don't really get the error message. So if we change that again to a recipe model, or recipe box, sorry.
Recipe box.
And now we save this box and we have that Hive list. Can you jump into the constructor of Hive list? Create a new Hive list which contains Hive objects from box.
Yeah. Which can contain Hive objects.
We have the box and we have objects. Disposes this list, cast Hive list. It looks correct.
Do you guys have any ideas? Recipes Mirko, sorry. Said recipes is not in the box, I think.
So very interesting. So if we add here something and we add an image. I think I misclicked. Give me an image. And I press submit, we get the error message, right? So what happens now? We receive the error message Hive error. Hive object needs to be in the box recipe or box.
Right. Can you scroll on top?
On top? Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
So this is the first time that I'm sad with the documentation of the whole thing, because I thought So sometimes your models are connected with each other. That's correct. The following person class has a list of persons called friends.
Yeah.
There could be also a list of other objects like pets. Okay, I understand. You could just use a regular list to store the persons, but updating a person would rather be complicated because the persons object would be stored redundantly. Yeah, that makes absolutely sense. We don't want that.
So Hive list provides an easy way to solve the problem above. They allow you to store a link to the actual object.
Okay, this is why Milko said that the object is not existent yet, because the idea is not that we don't create a real object inside of the categories, even though it is one, but we more save the reference. We save like a link to it. We say there the object is. So what we have to do.
So we don't put a new recipe in the category box. In our Hive box.
We don't save a recipe inside of our categories. We just save the recipe inside of the recipe box, and then we save this new recipe inside of that. This makes sense.
Okay, yeah.
So what we can do is now we have that. You created already the recipe model, right? Up there. So the recipe model needs now to be saved first. So we need to open a box, the recipe box, and then we save our recipe inside of this box.
Okay. So we create here, so we don't need a new box.
No, like we need exactly this box. That is exactly right.
This here.
Yes. So but now we have to save that recipe that we created up here inside of this box.
So, which means...
No worries, everyone. We will clean that up later. So it's just that we get our head around.
We should save this, right, Max?
The problem is now, where do we save that now? If we do it like that, we don't know where we save it, or... No, you can try it.
Yeah,
I'm also not sure, right?
I just... Okay.
It's just what I'm thinking, because if we just say save without any additional parameters, it doesn't know which box it is. Right. It doesn't know anything. So can you close that and take a look into save maybe?
Yeah, right.
Read some documentations.
First, it's this object.
Exactly.
Word, save.
So as you see, it takes a box. Can you jump into the? Can you make Command B on that so that we see where the box comes from? So it is a box base, which is a Hive object. So the question is now, how can we create a Hive object with a specific box?
Okay.
So if we check the documentation once more, and now we have to check the Hive object down here. So we have save and delete. And my question is now, how can we connect a Hive object with the information of its box? And I don't know if this is even possible. We have here, for example,
the Lucas.
Uh-huh.
And here we will save the person and update the object. And where is our object? The person.
So, but what happens here is we first open the box, right? And then we say we add a person into it. For example, Lisa, right? Yeah. So, and then we take the person and change its name, and then we just update the object, as you can see down there.
Where is it, the update?
Down here. So with that, we updated the object, so the person is now Lucas from now on.
Okay, so add will save it, and save will update it. Right?
Exactly, but it seems that we have also put in that case. So, all right, with that, we know exactly what we have to do. We want to add now to our box that we created, which is categories.
So, instead of that, no, instead of just save, we want to
slowly. We want to take the box because that is our container, and there we want to add the person, the recipe.
We want to add here our recipe.
Exactly.
So like that.
Yeah. And now, if we take a look into the now the box knows where it belongs, and as you can see down here, we call now persons.put with the person. So, but we don't need that because we don't want to create a special key for that, right? So we can just use the key that we have.
Yeah. So now if I just, this is the key.
So with that persons.add, person store this object for the first time. So now we know that this person is saved. Okay, and now with that Hive list box, and then add recipe, I think it could work. I'm not sure, but it could work. Because now we saved the reference to that new object that lives inside of the recipe model. Hey, Rishabh Deep Singh, tutorial. Yeah. How are you? Wrong language.
Max makes all languages that he can.
Too many languages, like 3 of them right now.
It's good, like... Max. So we add it to our box, and after that we add. Okay, let's see if it works.
Yeah. Hit the submit button. Hit it hard. Okay, problem 15. So, cannot write unknown type recipe model. Did you forget to register an adapter? Absolutely. Yes, we did.
Yeah, we did.
So, how does it work with the adapters?
Adapter. Here, Hive register adapter.
So we do that where we have registered the other adapter, and I think we have to create these adapter.
Let me ask a question. We have here the category repo for all of this stuff.
Yep.
Do we need also a recipe repo?
Yep. Do you remember that I said we will clean that up later?
Yeah.
This is exactly where we start. No, not yet. Yep. Now okay, we want to first fix our problems.
Yeah. Okay. So.
It could be that it is not really a pain, it's just new, right? So I don't know all the different works. So it is pretty nice actually, and the benefit is that it's very fast, like super fast in performance.
So before we open it, we should register it, right?
Yeah, but where, Mahtab? We did that already somewhere. So we had already a register, right? So we need that too. It's an NoSQL database, I think.
HiveDB. Register here an adapter with category model adapter. So how about if I do it here again?
That would be perfect.
So cool,
yeah, amazing. Right? Yeah.
So we need here again, and I want to register it again.
And now we need an adapter, which we don't have yet.
Yeah, it's gonna be a recipe model adapter. Recipe model adapter. Did I write it right? Yeah.
Sambust. I heard a lot about Sambust. It was also very interesting to see. But I think Hive has at the moment a very big community surrounding it. So because it is that fast. So we started with that in the beginning, and now we just have to stick with it. We asked the community if they want that. So.
So this is gonna be created automatically, right?
Are you sure?
Model adapter. If I jump into it, this is in our.
Okay, so it is category model g.dart.
Yeah, right.
So then this means it is a part somewhere, so we have to configure that. If you jump once more into category model dart.
Yeah.
And you say to me it is a part of category model.dart. So where do we find now the adapter?
In the category model.dart.
Very well. So can we go into the category model.dart?
Yeah.
Fantastic. So where do we find the adapter here? Nowhere, actually. That's funky.
Why? We have here the category model.g, category model, that's a Hive object, and this is exactly what we had.
Yeah, so where could we find something that we don't know from the Hive stuff?
In the documentation.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
Do we search for boxes?
No. Where is the adapter?
HiveDB is a NoSQL database that creates or is especially created for Flutter, so that you can save and store data locally, and it should be, or it tries to be, a good alternative to things like NoSQL or shared preferences. So it should be pretty easy to save and reload data, and or persist data, so that if you restart your application, you get your data back and can directly work again where you stopped. So we register our adapter.
Okay. Make sure to use type IDs consistently. Your change have to be compatible to previous version of the box. And here we have.
It is completely local, so it is on the device.
Two things are needed for that: an instance of the adapter and a type ID. Every type has a unique type ID, which is used to find the correct adapter. When the value is brought back from this, all type IDs between 0 and this one. Okay, so I register an adapter, and now I need a type ID.
Yeah, but can be generated automatically. So if we take a down look here, yes, generate adapter.
Generate adapter for a class annotated with Hive type. Oh, this is a type ID. I provide a type ID. Perfect. Okay, did you do that? Hive type with a Hive type ID.
Do we have the same thing for the recipe model?
Exactly. I'm here in the category model. Recipe model here. Hive type with Hive ID. Why is it 1?
I don't know.
Yeah, because it should be 1.
Should it be? Should it be unique or should it be 1?
It should be.
So we have 2 adapters at the moment, right? We have the
recipe adapter and category adapter. So they should be unique.
Okay, and have they at the moment the same number or have they different
Max.
numbers?
To be honest, I don't know that.
So we have to check that, right?
Recipe model, we have type ID 1 and category model type ID 0, which is amazing.
Okay.
And now I will renegade the build runner.
So we don't have to do anything else.
I don't think so. Annotate all fields should be stored with Hive field, which we did it. Run build task, which is this one, and register adapter.
Okay, so everything is a Hive type, yeah? A Hive field.
Yeah.
Didn't forget that.
I'm again in the Hive type, Hive field, Hive field, Hive field.
Okay. Is it possible to combine them? Yeah, exactly. That is a very good point. That is usually done. So if you don't want to fetch all the time documents or you have some stuff that is located for the user, then you can just cache the stuff. Could we maybe search if there is already an import where we can import that recipe model adapter? Well done. Okay. So now we received our adapter, we combined that, and now it should work fine. It's interesting that the old state stays somehow inside, and if you click inside, so. And the next error, fantastic.
Oh, come on, no.
Sure, that is programming. We search for one error to the next. Oh no, nothing.
Look at that, Max.
Okay, with that, if you go now back and jump into the chicken screen, and only in the chicken screen, because you made it hard-coded that you always select the first one, then it should work. Then we should see a recipe. So if you go back from that screen, because we always return false, it doesn't navigate automatically. And if you jump now into chicken, we should see your category, your added recipe. So this means we have really saved a recipe down the category.
Okay.
So I know that was a lot and it was very difficult to do at the moment. Or at least, well, it's now the second time that we do it, so it's fair that it is a bit longer. But what we have now to make sure is understanding what we have done.
Yeah.
Improve the list that we show, because it looks at the moment a bit ugly.
And
clean.
Pop up, out. Navigate. When it's true.
Okay, so what I would suggest is that we add, or that we start maybe with the navigation, and then we have to clean up a little bit, because
Perfect.
I think most of the stuff is currently pretty ugly.
So I will go at first to the add the recipe screen here.
Yeah.
So as we said before, we need here a boolean, right? And here is our saved recipe. So I will jump here.
So these two do up there, save to HiveDB, receive the selected category. I think all of them are done.
After that, we have to update. We did it. Here we go.
Yeah.
This is our Hive.
We also combined them. We did quite a lot, actually. I'm pretty happy with that. Okay. It was a bit longer, but it was very successful.
So we will add it. We'll add the... Okay, what we did, let's understand it. Here, we have a Hive box. What we did at the beginning is we create here a box again and open our box. We open our box actually just. We have a box. We have for the whole application, we have one box, right?
It should be, yeah.
Yeah, just one box. Here we want to add a new recipe to our box. Therefore, at first we should open the box. And after that, we will add the recipe, which is this one, to our box. And after that, we will set selected category recipe is equal to same one if the box is not empty.
Yeah.
Right? And if the box is empty...
No, not the box. Sorry, here's a Hive list. So that means if the list recipes is empty, we create a new one. Else we take the recipes.
Yeah, okay. And at the end, we will add the recipe to our recipe list. And after that, we save it, right?
Yep.
So what we can do here is, I need a try and catch now. What I can say something like that. Try to save this one.
It would be cool to see if you make this app sync with some database online. The problem is with syncing, it is very hard to achieve. So if you want to really sync with timings and so on and so forth, like a Firebase, Firebase does it, right? Because it creates that part. It's getting super hard to code. So if you want to really achieve something like that, I would suggest you stick with Firebase Pure and only, because I think that makes more sense there. It is more for data that is really local on your device where you want to work with that. To make it syncable, it's very hard.
Okay, I said if this works,
if you saved it,
and if this is not the case, we should return false.
Yeah, but if you tried and it worked,
we should try return true.
Sounds valid, yeah. Because you have to think about so many things if you want to sync, like timing, and maybe you change the time zones in the meantime, you get the data already, or all these stuff. So this is very complicated stuff. It looks so beautiful.
It's so good. Right, this is honestly, this is the next task. Not for today, but
yeah.
I can write it. That's fine. Okay. Now I have to have...
Mahtab, you made it hard-coded to the first element.
You are
so
right.
How should we get now two?
No, I just wanted to check if... Max, don't get me wrong. I wanted just to check if I navigate.
Okay, so it worked.
Yeah.
You mean navigate back. Okay, fantastic.
Navigate back. And now I just killed our application, which is amazing. So save recipe here. Now, because we get true, so we will navigate.
Yeah.
And if this is not the case and it's false, we won't navigate.
Okay. Welcome back, Flutterist. What stage are we in? So we saved our recipes in our database, or our recipe in our database. Yeah, I think Firebase has the live synchronizing, right? So they do all that stuff. So if you are offline, it will store the stuff online on your device, and then it will combine it with the internet or something like that. So it's the real-time database there is really freaking awesome, and it's really hard to copy something like that. So if you want to really create a synchronized database local and on the internet, it's Firestore is like the way to go. In my opinion, even the only way to go, even if you have to pay for it. The code base behind it is so big and so impressive, it's crazy.
Okay, I would say it's good enough now, right?
So now we have to clean up Mahtab. So
Okay.
how did we do it the last time? Did we do all that boxing, open a box and so on, all in one file and actually that close to our UI? No.
So, recipe... I write it. Recipe repo dot dropped.
Okay.
So, how we did it? We need a recipe. Okay.
Yeah, so we have the recipe repo here.
Okay. Okay, so we should take this stuff, I would say, out. Right?
Yes.
It's gonna be this. Our box.
How did we do it in a category repo? Because I think you can copy nearly the whole thing.
Yeah?
Yeah, of course.
Save category. We want also to delete it or edit it.
Do you remember the
everything.
CRUD stuff?
Yeah.
This is exactly that what we want to do here. So our repo parts should always take care of save, read, delete, update. Always the same things. So you can of course just implement one if we don't have the others yet, which makes sense. But actually this file should nearly exactly look like the recipe repo. Don't copy everything for now, just copy the constructor and the box itself. Because this is for now the first things that we need, right? Because we want to have a singleton here. Okay, so now we improve creating this recipe repo. No, it's recipe model. We have to import Hive in that case. I think we have not a category box, we have now a recipe box here.
Yeah.
So with that we initialize our class here. So whenever we create recipe repo, we create once a Hive open box. So we have that box in the runtime and it saves there. And as whenever we need it, we can just call this box here and get our data and save our data here.
Okay. So instead of having here again, I can just use that one.
Correct.
Right? Here.
So
this is what we have it is there. And instead of having this one, I can go for a recipe.
no, unfortunately not Flutterist. I still wait, so that's why I'm currently preparing the getX video, so that we can start with that. And I still wait for the Riverpod feedback. Hopefully it will come in the next few weeks, but it makes no sense to have again deprecated video like in Qubit. So I would like to wait at least 1 week more, but let's see how it turns out. As soon as we get news there, you will be the first who knows about it.
So I use here our recipe repo.
How did we do it in save category, Mahtab?
Let's see. Save.
We have an add category provider.
Category provider.
There have we save recipe category. So how did we do it here? We created our category model and checked there for some stuff. And after that we call the method. And how does the method called and where does it live?
Okay. So here we have the save category. And here, where is my category repo, Max? I can't see that.
Correct, because it is not here. This is what I'm talking about. We don't want to have all the informations inside of our add category or add recipe. So if you take away, I can't do it for all of you, but
can you do that?
Yeah, sure. So what we can see here, this part is nearly the same like the other one, right? We create our model, we get our file inside, we make some checks, and then we save.
Yeah.
So we call our provider, which is our app provider.
Yo, so we got it from the UI actually.
We got it from another provider, but at the moment our layers are a bit fuzzy. We would actually we would like to have a service with dependency injection and so on. But at the moment we thought about it to have inside of the app provider all the stuff that are talking to the repository. So the app provider or app controller has at the moment the access to the different repositories, which actually is a very bad thing. Usually we should work here also with dependency injection. But we keep it for now like that, so that this one has now access to our whole repository, right? Delete category, here we have read category, and so on and so forth. So this app provider at the moment knows about that stuff.
Oh yeah, okay.
Alternatively, if we don't want to use something like this, we could now create an own a service for that, right?
Yeah.
So that would be also an option.
Yeah, go for it, Max.
And inside of the add recipe part, yeah, so you changed here already quite a lot. We really have just to move stuff because all that stuff exists already somewhere. The only thing is we move, and what you did is now you moved that already, right?
Yeah.
So if we check the recipe repo,
if we check the recipe repo, yeah.
so you see on the top we moved our stuff just, right? The technology, the stuff that works is still here. We have created the box, and now we opened the box.
Yeah.
So, and if you check now the other parts, if we go back, so this, I think add recipe, exactly. So this deletes this line here. So now we have to move the add part. So we want to add to this box that we created right now, one new element. So we go back to our recipe repo. Here we need a function, void save category, or better,
void
you see,
category,
we have to change the name of the constructor here.
Just like that. This is the recipe repo.
Yes.
Why did we write it big?
Because it's a constructor
Oh
matter.
yeah, okay, yeah. Recipe repo. It's
Fantastic, yeah. Okay, I think you have to close that off and you have to copy it in that case. Just double click the recipe repo, Command C, and replace it down there. All right. So now we need save recipe.
Save recipe.
And here inside we call now the box that we have declared here up. So that box. And then we say, I think, what do we call on that box?
Add or?
I don't know. We have to go to back because there everything is. So it's just add.
Add with the recipe.
So why can't we access it now? What is the problem with the box? Can you show me the type?
But the box is private, which is fine here.
Yeah, exactly.
And here we have a recipe model. Oh yeah, okay. We should go wait for that. Wait.
Because we can't wait inside of a constructor for it, right? So we have to do it inside of the different methods.
Yeah.
And first we have to wait for it, so you can't directly call add on it.
Okay.
So you can remove that. First line is we just get the box now here. So we wait for the box. We put it in a second variable called box, for example.
Okay. It's from type box.
Exactly. And now you can say box.add.
With the...
Can you, instead of making this a box, can you make it a var? Because then it infers the type from the future up here. So you don't have to say all the generics once more. Okay, so now you have the value. Where does the value come from in a save?
It should come actually from the method which you have in the other.
So someone who calls this save recipe model recipe has to send you the recipe model down here.
So it's gonna be a recipe model. And this is a recipe. Okay?
Yeah.
And I go just something like that.
Good. So, and this part will now take care of our save. So this means the next line can be deleted.
This kind of regular.
So now it's getting a little bit more tricky, right? So the thing is here...
It's okay, I will pass here recipe model.
Why? The recipe model comes up here.
Yeah.
Okay, no, the thing is more that we have now a selected category, and this selected category needs now access to the box of the repository.
Yeah.
As you can see, we have a dependency here. So somehow this line here wants to have access to our Hive recipe repo, to that box up here. So we could do that in different ways. One would be that we have a method inside of our recipe repo that gives access to this box. That we can say, okay, you can get this box.
Yeah.
The question is now, where do we initialize these lists of recipes? So what I would suggest is we have a recipes.
Recipes.
I have quickly to think about it. What a nice cat.
We do have cat.
So let's assume we would have access here in this provider. Could you go up here and say we would have here access to the repository recipe repo? Okay, so you say recipe repo. Recipe repo, exactly. And now you would also generate it here. So we would have the dependency here, even though it is a bad idea. So you say equals and create a new object. We will change that in the future. Maybe make a line above and add something like // and say to do. Use dependency injection. Yeah, because at the moment what we are doing is that the add recipe provider is completely coupled with the recipe repo. And we really don't want that, but this is something what we will fix in the future.
Okay.
So now we will have here that Hive list from the box, right? And we need now a Hive list in the worst case that comes from the recipe repo.
Okay.
So we need here something like inside of the recipe repo, a function that calls something like a create Hive list.
Yeah.
So we have another function which returns a Hive list.
This is gonna be a Hive list.
From type.
Hive list.
Yeah, but which type? Recipe model, right? So
recipe model. And it's gonna be recipes.
No, create Hive list or create list.
Create recipe list.
And this will just return a Hive list.
Return Hive list.
With the box that we have here.
With our box.
Okay, and with that we can close that and it should work already.
No.
No, because the box is again a future, so we have to do the same stuff. No.
Can't return
no.
Right. Did we create again a box?
Yes, we have always, when we want to access that, to wait for it, because we cannot be sure if it's already created. So, and now we have to make it asynchronous again, and we use the box. So, now we have to return something. And of course make the whole thing future, right? Because we have here an asynchronous part. I think you can just make enter on that, alt enter, and then you will receive the possibility to... Okay. You can also write it. Okay.
Okay, now we will get a
Hive list.
Hive list.
Okay, so that means create recipe list creates as a Hive list, and now we can replace at the add recipe provider that part that is dependent
with
the recipe repo.
Recipe repo. That's not that.
That is the right one, yeah.
Dot save recipe.
Exactly. So with that we said, okay, we don't create anymore the information about the box here inside, and we got all rid of that.
Yeah.
So, and now the rest is just creating some stuff. So the only problem is at the moment that we are strongly coupled between the recipe repo and this add recipe provider. And this will be something for the future. But everything else looks not anymore that coupled and looks pretty solid, right? So we got rid of all the information that has something to do with the database.
Okay.
What we could also do, but I think that is not necessary.
Check if it's everything works.
Yeah, with the next part, when we also create some dependency injection, we can also think about to have some tests there around, because that is always a cool thing.
Okay. Something is
this afternoon I will work on the website again. Okay, so Hive error, Hive object needs to be in the box, recipe box.
So the same.
Because we forgot to save, right?
Yeah.
So, no, we have already the function created, we just forgot to call it. So one line before we create the recipe list, so before we access the selected category,
here.
One line below the recipe model.
Max, I don't see that.
Okay, two lines higher and enter. Now you enter recipe repo.
Recipe repo
dot save. And now you receive the recipe and you are finished. Well done.
The recipe, yeah, here.
Okay.
And now when I...
It could be that you have to, because you changed the state and everything, it could be, oh, we get still an error. Yeah, try to restart and hot restart, and maybe then it works. So that it has some problems.
Okay.
Sad. Obviously we have a problem. Sure, makes absolutely sense.
Did you see already Hive objects need to be in the box?
I think the problem is with the create recipe list. We know that this is asynchronous, right? So what do we have to do?
Yeah, we should have waited again.
Not there. I think save recipe. Yeah, save is also a wait. Yeah, you're right.
We need here wait.
And also in the second line, when we wait for the create recipe list, it's also in a wait. We have also to wait for that. Yeah, and now I think it will be better. Yeah. Okay. So, alright, so that was the difficult stuff, right? So now we have saved the recipe, and what I would suggest now, because we have still like 20 minutes, to have some fun parts where we can just enjoy ourselves, that we create the list for the categories, so that when
the recipes in the category. What do you want?
I want to do, if we can jump into the app and you click on chicken now, that we don't show just one, we show multiple, that this screen looks a bit nicer, a bit fresher, so just some UI work.
Do we have a design for that?
Not really, no. I think we have a design with an image on the left side or something, but you can play a bit around whatever floats your boat, or what you can do is we can jump into the design and you can try to clone that as close as possible.
Okay. This is our screen.
Or what you also can do is first commit.
It's always good. Save recipe and refactoring.
Yep.
Okay.
We have some unused imports, alright.
Enough. What's going here? Unused import stuff.
Split per AB. No, sorry, AB, never done. Looks crazy. What is the result of that? What are you searching?
Nothing.
Okay.
Okay, it's fine. And push. Right.
Split per ABI. Sorry, never heard.
Our recipe screen.
I think we called it category screen.
Really?
Yes, because this is now part of the dashboard, right? So this is the category screen down here. This is where you want to work.
Okay. Perfect. Okay. First thing is maybe.
So what I would like to do is first remove that animation, that we get rid of that. That we just have a plain transition between the two.
So no hero animation anymore.
I think we can even use it. I think it's more about the transition that we created.
Yeah.
And I think you will find that when you search for the category screen.
That?
Yeah, down here you have that. No, I think the other one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the first one, category screen. Oh no, sorry. Yeah. Where is it? The top one. Yeah, category list. Okay, here. So you see we created here the page route builder with all that stuff, with the transition builder, curve tween.
Just get rid of all of the.
Yeah, I think at least with the duration of 3, it is a bit high.
Do we need slide transition, you think?
I think we can get rid of most of that.
Just let me see if this is better now.
Yeah, well, it's faster, at least.
Okay. Slide transition, then we have tween, it's fine. I would say it's fine now.
At least it is usable, let's say it this way, but we can improve that in the future too.
Yeah, for sure.
What I found interesting is that the hero animation behaves a bit strange because it flies, but somehow it's invisible during the fly. It's just then at the end that it's visible again.
So let me think a little bit. What we want to do maybe is just to bring the chicken a little bit more padding here, and after that maybe with the list view, or to bring all the recipes here down each other.
So you can open up the Adobe XD. I think we have there something that you can recreate. And Coding Guy is asking you if you can do that transition once more. So you want to see the transition from one page to another, or
like that?
Yeah.
So when we click, this is our hero animation, which is with the word chicken, I would say. And it's come up somehow, but a little bit weird, I would say. Anyway.
So where is it?
This is this one. Here we go. Is it this one? Actually, yes.
Yeah.
We have.
It should be that one, yeah.
So we want to have at the end the same design as in our add recipe screen with another image, and here a list of recipes. I was looking that it was going under the app bar. Oh. Okay.
Could be. We don't know yet. I think that screen is completely naked. We didn't work on that yet.
Okay. So in the add recipe screen, I want just to figure out where is our design, which we have. This is this one.
I think it was pretty complicated with a stack, and then all that stuff inside and so on. Yep.
This is a position single chart scroll view. And here the okay. What do you think, Max? Should we use the same?
I would start very easy and just create a list for now, maybe a list view builder, and then I would slowly make it the way to that. The problem was that with that stack and position and everything, we can do that, but on the other side,
it's a little bit too much for now.
The question is just what you want to do. Of course, you can also start to work on that. Why not?
But at the end, what we can do also is here, instead of that, we can go for the is the list view builder or separated? I go for lister. Okay, and here we will have the category. Category. with the recipes. Let me see. Item count gonna be item builder. Let me just jump here because I forget it a little bit. Oops. Oh. List view with builder, we need an item count, we need item builder, which get a context and index, and the list type is exactly what I wanted. Okay. And so we'll get the context. With the index, and here we'll return item type. Was it, Max?
List tile, I think it is.
List type. And here we will have item count, which gonna be the length of our recipes.
Exactly.
Right? So it's gonna be here the category and recipes, and I need the length of that.
Yep. Robert is pointing out that you don't need the container of line 14, and I think he's right.
The container of here. Why did we use that? I don't know anymore.
Me neither, but I think it is not necessary. It's just a container that's floating around.
Yeah.
I think we created it in the beginning where we just had a scaffold and then inside.
Like that. Okay. So. What do we have here? What I can have a leading, which is icons point, maybe food or something. Oh, like that.
Okay, but if we take a look into the design, is it really a list? Is it really an icon, or do we want to have the image of the food inside?
Because
every food has an image, right? So our recipes has an image.
Yeah. So we can go something like that, maybe. There's gonna be an image.
I think you can use the memory constructor.
What was that? The memory image. Yeah.
I think that's something else. This is now the image provider, but we want to use image.memory.
Here we go.
Which is an easy access way of that.
Memory. And here we want to go for this point category point.
Why do we have to always say this? I thought you can just call category, right? Because it is here in that class.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so here I don't also need it. Don't need this one.
No, and also up there, I think both of them can be done.
Like that.
And also that tag, and then we are clean.
Right. You can use circle avatar for that rounded look. Okay. So after that I will... So I can wrap this one in a circle avatar, right? So, but before that, let me bring this one. So this is gonna be the category. Recipes. No, let me just think. To access to each. So I want to get each recipe here, and we are going through each index, right?
Yes. Hey Alexander, your question is very good. I have no idea, to be honest. We started with this app, and during the question if we should take SQLite or some other local database, the community decided for Hive, so we started with Hive.
Can you give me a hint?
Yeah, I can give you a hint. You want to access different parts of your recipes, which is a list, right? So you don't dot, you make a bracket,
yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then you ask for the index.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's gonna be like that.
And now you can access the image.
Okay.
Good.
So, and now, let me see. Okay. And now, before going like that, I want to wrap this one. And what was that? What coding guy said? The circle avatar. Circle avatar. Okay. So, this is this one. Now what I have here is, I think I should have also a child or something?
A title.
A title?
Mm-hmm.
Perfect. It's gonna be text.
Yep.
And we are going also to this one, and here we need the index and need the name of the recipe.
Mm-hmm. And yes, Nickel, you are right. We can also use the container. The benefit of that, it would be that we receive the that we can also change the elevation and so on. And coding guy, yep, that sounds absolutely correct. That was also something that we can do in a second. To use this list, you have to open the box, recipe box first. Mm-hmm. So the problem is that you want to access the category recipes.
Yeah.
But it seems that you only opened the box with Hive open. You remember that call? You opened only the category part. And now we have the problem with the dependency injection a little bit.
Yeah.
Because from the timing, at this point of time, we have not opened the Hive DB, the Hive open
recipe model.
Recipe model, exactly. So this is the problem at the moment. So what we can do here is just calling, how can we do that the best way? I think if we go to the HiveDB Dart here, can we register the stuff, we init the database.
Recipe model, and here after that we had the recipe repo. Yeah,
the problem is at the moment that we would have to create a recipe repo just to open that box. And then we will create another one. So it is not beautiful, but we will do that for now, just that we can work a little bit further in the UI. So if we go back to the HiveDB, you would add here, down here, just for this to-do first. Clean that mess up. Okay. Exactly. And in the second line, we will make a recipe repo equals new recipe. We will create the new object of recipe repo. So
recipe repo.
No. So why we're doing this is we create now the object, and with that we call that open HiveDB open part. Yeah, import that, fine. So and because it is a singleton inside of Hive, we don't have to do anything else. So we keep it like that. It will just recreate. If we look here inside, we open our box, and because it is on Hive, it will automatically keep it open, right? So whoever wants to use it later can just use that here.
But don't close it.
Yeah, the only thing is it will most likely break whenever we have now a second constructor who uses that recipe repo once more, because it is not a singleton. But we will work on that later, and there's a bit too much at the moment.
Okay.
But if we are restarting the app at the moment, we should have now, because that init is called at the beginning, we should have, if you jump into the chicken, no problem anymore. That was weird. Okay, we received an error. But this looks like Ah, yeah, because you have a column and a list view surrounding it, so you have to expand it, right?
Yeah, right. Rescreen. Oh yeah. Ooh, look at that.
Fantastic. That looks already pretty promising. The only problem is that the images are a bit small, right? But we will do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Riverpod helped there a lot with dependency injection, but yeah. I'm not sure how I would create that with Riverpod Pure like we have now the problem. That we have like a complete different service somewhere where we don't want to put that in the UI, right? If the widget tree. Therefore, I would more use Getit instead of the Riverpod or provider injection.
I just do some stuff. Change or I can't see that. Yeah, it's changed. Right. So I would say it's enough for today.
No. We have the title.
We have the title, and I'm going for some style. Size maybe 24 or something like that. It's better. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, my problem with that is just that the testing is getting a bit tricky because then I have to create a widget tree just to test it, right? So that is always my enhancement. I don't know if this is now better, but before it was with provider always a hassle. Not anymore. All right. So maybe this is something that we can try this afternoon and I learn something again.
What I don't know is, I think it's a little bit weird here. Why? Because I think we should have some opportunity around the circle avatar. Right, here we go. Max radius, I don't know, maybe something like that.
The state is yeah, but don't we have then to if we want to mock the objects, can we do that easily? I think about it. I have to read more about it. Yeah, so Mockito is also working. That's good.
So, guys,
yeah,
honestly, look at that. Okay, I think the circle avatar doesn't work like that what we wanted, because we have now a circle beside behind of that. So if I just create something like that.
So the image stays in a rectangle shape. This is your problem.
Yeah.
The problem is you can use a container instead of the circle avatar and try to give it decoration with the circle. Unfortunately, this will not solve your problem, I assume, but let's try it.
Just a container, but I don't. Okay.
So, and the container has a shape, right?
Yeah.
In the decoration, sorry. Shape, the bottom one. And it's circle, I think.
Circle. No.
Box shaped circle.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
You don't have to call it.
No. Okay. And let's see how does it look like now.
Yeah, so the container is not, well, you have to, you could change the image here from the decoration image.
What did you say?
That you instead have a child with an image, that you use the decoration image.
Yeah.
That could be a possibility. I don't know if this works. But if this is not working, then I have a last resort.
So instead of having here, I'll try to put it here. It doesn't work.
Yeah, sure.
Let's
not.
see.
Because you need a decoration image,
Yeah.
not an...
Right. Decoration image.
Which receives itself an image. Now you have to pass an image provider, which is the memory image in that
I can
case.
also do this like
No,
that.
you can't, because the decoration image would be that, and you can't do it like that. It is a memory image.
Ah, yeah.
And now you have to pass the things inside.
So we'll go like that. Sorry.
We used that radius. The problem was that it was too big. Not really. Get it was pretty fancy forward. I was very happy with it. Especially with that, because you can override the different objects there. So until now I didn't have any problems with that. But I didn't really think about it. As I said, I'm also still never used it entirely in a project. So don't have a benefit or a disadvantage to it. Widget consumes entire tile width. Alright.
So if this will fix.
It's more a problem about the width, right? Not the height.
Yeah.
So if you give that also 24. Yeah. Okay, so it's circly. That's something. Can you increase it to 50 or something? It's getting better.
Let's see.
Now the people will challenge you.
Why is going on?
Another build your own custom list and use the list view. So you could also create everything yourself. Okay, so it is circled, right? So if you change now also the image part, because you want to have that filled, right? So the memory image should be filled. Sorry, the decoration image should be filled.
Yeah. Box fit, right? Fill.
Yep. Here we go. Looks good.
Okay.
But I don't know why it's not the same height and width.
Even if I have to say.
So the thing is that if you take the circle avatar, somehow it doesn't cut the edges. So with the container circle, it understands that it needs to cut it, I think. It could be, but we can try that the next time again. But it doesn't work there. I don't know.
I'm thinking it's maybe the leading is somehow
too small?
Yeah,
could be.
Yeah.
Ah, yeah. The height is limited. Yep.
Yeah, the height is limited. I don't think that they can use everything.
Okay, but this means that maybe list tile is not the best option for us in that case.
Yeah. Also, instead of builder, maybe it's separated.
Yeah, would be an option, right? Because we want to have in the separated, we want to have that little gaps in between.
Separated builder. And here I think I get context.
Yeah, as always, because it's a builder.
Yeah.
A builder gets always a context.
For a divider or something like that. Divider.
You get a bit more from the separator builder. You get the context and an index.
Yeah.
So you could say something like every fourth element you don't want to have a divider or something.
Okay. It's a bit better, but still it doesn't like it. It doesn't list tile. What do we get instead? Okay.
You got a recommendation in the chat.
What did we get?
Container with a row would be probably everything you need.
Yeah. Yeah, could be.
The list tile will only give you some, or will reduce your possibilities there, because, yeah, why should you use that predefined one if your design looks completely different?
Okay, I will do something, guys. I'm going like that. No. Like that. And now I'm going with the container.
Sure, I can do that, Nico.
And let's child. We need a row. And here we need children. And in the children, I will use our container here. I think it's gonna be this one.
I think you have one bracket too much, or one too less. Both of them. Yeah, I think one too less. Yep.
Yeah. Like that. And after that, I'm going like that.
And then you have your title.
Here you go. Here. And after that, a title. I don't want to do that. Like that.
Yeah, looks better.
Yeah.
Now we need a little bit padding between the two, right? So that container and text
maybe
is not.
Here the main axis alignment.
All right. Yeah, that's also an option.
Yeah.
That looks good.
Yeah.
I would keep that.
No. So maybe space around is better. I think. Yeah.
All right. I think we have to work on that further.
We need a better design and everything.
Yeah, but I think that was already a pretty successful session, right? We saved our recipes. We have now finally our categories combined with our recipes, which is amazing. That means we have to clean there a little bit up. We have some to-dos there to do. So that is something that we will do next. The size box is an option, of course, as always, which I prefer, I think, but we will do that. And yeah, I think that's the first stream for today. This afternoon we will have another session with the website, exactly, where we work on the website a little bit further.
Yeah.
Thank you, Robert, there for your valued information. I will take a look into that. And Minu has also solved the problem there, so we will work there.
You have to do some pull requests at first.
Yeah, yep, a lot of work.
Great, guys. So that was a great session.
Yep. Thank you so much for joining, as always. And we will see us this afternoon or at Wednesday. Take care.
Yeah.
See you guys.
See you. Bye.
Fantastic. Nice to hear that.
Roger. See you.